Morning Tobago on Tobago Updates, your source for current affairs in Tobago, Trinidad, and the region, with the perfect conversations to complement your morning routine. I am Kandace Jackson, and we are going to get straight on into our show this morning with our first guest as we get into what's been happening with some of our fishing facilities around the island. Now, the matter has come up quite a bit on the election campaign trail. Even though it's a general election, it's still kind of sort of snuck up there. So we're going to get into what's happening. And speaking with us this morning and giving us some details, we are being joined by the Secretary of Food Security, Natural Resources, the Environment, and Sustainable Development. And of course, that's Ms. Natisha Charles-Pantin. And with her is the Assistant Secretary in the division, and Mr. Nigel Taitt is here with us as well. So good morning and welcome to you both.
Good morning, Kandace. Good morning to Bagatelle, Bacalet, and Tobago. Yeah?
Good morning each and every one. Good morning, Tobago Updates. Tobago to my beautiful electoral district of St. Alpatians. And good morning to Tobago.
All right, great to have you this morning. And so now we're gonna get on into it, and there's been, let's say, a complaint that there has been a misuse of government facilities, particularly that of the fishing facilities. So, Ms. Charles-Pantin, give us an idea of what's been going on with our fishing facilities, because we've heard a lot over the years about the state of a lot of them. When we go on the beaches and we see them, they don't look in the best of states. So,
all right. So, I like to start on a positive note. So, within our tenure, we have tried to upgrade the fish facilities to bring them to HACCP and to meet other standards. And I could pinpoint a lot of them that we have tried. We built the storage facilities in Charlottesville, right? We upgraded the Roxborough Fish Facility, the Barbados Bay, beautiful design Barbados Bay Fish Facility, Culloden Fish Facility, and the Bucco Fish Facility. And of course, we try to maintain what we have in the existing fish facilities with some construction to begin again at the Palo Tuve Fish Facility. And this is a division that we don't have money for development, right? As I mentioned, and I continue to mention, that the division, we got about 24 million for development, and we need 27 million, to which we use all of that money to pay workers. And that's what we met there. Mm-hmm. We didn't create that situation. So a lot of what we do, we have to depend solely on the Division of Finance and moving around funds all around the assembly to do these types of upgrades and to build these storage facilities and all these things we have been doing. But we have an issue now where within this election period, we have been experiencing a lot of misuse of the assets.
So is it a bit of sabotage happening?
Well, I'd like to say that the data suggests that, because what we are seeing now, we're seeing tampering of some of the electrical systems. We're seeing a lot of, jerseys, Mr. Taitt, all the items stuffed into the tank. Yes. To cause leakages, the sewage system. I'll show you, like in 2023, we probably pumped the sewage tank twice for that year. Mm. And now within a month, we have 6 pumpings happening between Charlottesville and Pigeon Point Fish Facility. And that's within a month. And we have to pay, it's not free. We have to pay for it, a division that doesn't have any money. And that is why we are here today, both the Assemblyman and I, right, to bring that to the forefront, because we know how expensive it is to be pumping continuously, right, these fish facilities. And they are 100% managed by the division without any money for development.
All right, and we're getting into some of the videos and stuff like that, and it seems as though our master control is preempting us. Yes. But we want to get into it because there are specific concerns at different facilities, and perhaps I don't know, Mr. Taitt, you could lead us off, and we're going to start. I think these images that we are seeing here is that of Charlottesville. So give us an idea, and viewers, of course, some of these might not be too pleasant if you haven't had had your breakfast yet, or you're just eating. So just be aware. Just be aware. So just give us an idea of what's been happening.
Well, the Charleville fish facilities, right? We are seeing a lot of foreign objects inside of the tanks. Objects such as rags, we are seeing jerseys, we have seen stones are being placed inside of the fish facility, inside of the sewage tanks, right?
Stones,
Stones.
Stones. Yes. So call the names of the items again,
stones.
Slowly.
Okay, we are seeing rags, we are seeing jerseys, we are seeing stones inside of the sewage tanks when they go to pull the tanks, right? How these items are getting in the tanks, I don't know. Right? I don't know. I cannot say. But these are the objects that we are actually seeing in these tanks. And these objects are causing problems with the system itself so that it cannot be operated how it's supposed to. So it's causing a backup. Right? So when you go to flush the toilet or use the waste sink, the water keep backing up and coming over, causing an overflow into the facility itself. Right? But how the objects are getting into the sewage tanks, we don't know.
Now, my question to you is, has this been happening before?
No.
No, it's
we
not.
would usually pump from these facilities once, twice a year. And if within a month you have 6 pumpings, and then you're finding these items in the system, right? It's ruining the operational integrity and the sanitation integrity, sanitary integrity of the system. So we need to sensitize the public because it's taxpayers' money, right? We have to use in order to pump the system, and we could have used that money to do other things, other projects, collectively. So the fishermen, they are the ones that would suffer because obviously we'd have to close the facility for cleaning. And we do have security at all the facilities. And Mr. Taitt, the administrator, all of us would have tried to reach out to the security, try to beef up vigilance. And this is the result still. Because, I mean, the security, based on this, where the tanks are located, they're not always there. Right, but we're very firm on trying to stay in one place to see who it is.
Certainly, and then moving on now to what's been going on at Pigeon Point. So there are some other issues there at Pigeon Point. Similar or
not similar?
Basically the same issue at Pigeon Point fish facility too, you know?
Yeah.
Exact thing. Where we are finding same rags, towels.
Yeah. That's the difference.
Pigeon Point,
You'd have towels at Pigeon Point.
Stone, rags, jerseys, and towels were found in Pigeon Point fish facility sewage system.
Yeah. And the security, we have security there as well.
Yeah, and yes, we do have security placed at both fish facilities, but the security could only do as much.
Yeah,
right?
they're trying.
Yeah, they could only do as much. And I could always say that the security that is stationed at this point, yes, they do their job, right? But how much can they do? Right?
Yeah.
They can be in the front and the back at the same time.
Right. And you see, one would say put cameras all around. But I mean, the amount of money that we'd have to use to do all of this around the island, that's another expense. And we're saying that if you as a stakeholder, you are there, right? Encourage your colleagues that, don't ruin my ability to vend at these facilities, right? So that is our plea, that people understand that every time we have to spend money in doing this, that you take away the ability to fund something else, right? You take away the ability to pay someone in terms of wages. You take away the ability to manage the facilities in the interest of other fishermen who are not, they don't have a space otherwise but to use these spaces. So that is why we're here this morning.
Tell me a little bit about how much did it cost? How much is it costing to do these repair works and so on?
An accurate figure I cannot give right now, but it's approximately $13,000 for one pumping. Right? And if you have two pumping, let's say per month, because last April April the 12th, around the, we did do a pumping in Pigeon Point. And over the weekend here, we received information again that he want to pump again.
Yeah, you need to pump again right now, as we speak.
So we're talking about 13,000 times 2.
Yeah.
Wow.
And we have pumped 6 times so far.
Yeah.
And these are facilities that were already functional?
Like, yes, these are functioning fish facilities. And even when we have to bring in a specialist, it could cost about over $70,000. Yeah. So Mr. Taitt is quite right. Every time we have to pump, it's somewhere 13,000 for one pumping. So if we continue along this line, all we'll be doing is just pumping.
And then meanwhile, there are so many other facilities that are in desperate need of attention.
Repair.
How has this pumping now affected what needs to be done to the other facilities?
Well, in terms of finance, right, it eliminates the fact that we have to do another fish facility. So the money that we want to spend on another fish facility will go towards pumping these 2 fish facilities, right? So it's taking away the funding from fixing another fish facility or getting job done to upgrade another fish facility.
Yeah.
Right?
So which facility is now on the chopping block for this fiscal year?
Well, I wouldn't say it's on the chopping block, right? We're on board with the upgrade of the palliative air fish facility, but now upgrade building of the second phase of the palliative air fish facility. That should start in short order, right? But again, remember, we don't have the money to pay in-house. So we have to rely solely on the Division of Finance. And how we manage our resources at the division becomes very important, and how we manage the stakeholders, right? So we are asking the stakeholders to continue to partner with the division so that we don't waste money by just paying suppliers to pump, right? There's not only fish facilities that exist under the division. Agriculture, we have all the agricultural stations. I met them in complete disrepair. And we have started to do upgrades to Kendall Farm School. We're about to upgrade tractor pool. But we don't have the funds in-house. So imagine trying to repair these places and still be on board with transforming the sector, of building what we actually need to move the sector forward. Because we have the veterinary lab to start, right? We have all sorts of support mechanisms that we have to put in place to ensure that we have a thriving agricultural sector in Tobago. And every time we waste money doing the pumping, because we know if you're pumping 6 times in a month, that means something wrong, right? If you're accustomed pumping once or twice a year. And that is what I'm saying. The trend that is happening, we want the stakeholders to come on board with us so that they understand what they are doing. Tobagonians cannot be sabotaging themselves, right? No, we're not going to allow that here. All right?
Have you been able to pinpoint any of the perpetrators as yet?
Not at this time, but I want to use this opportunity now to say, if anyone out there see anyone or observe anyone that is causing or creating sabotaging of any of these facilities, please report it to the security or come to the division and report it. Because this is something that we need to stop. Because at the end of the day, it affects not just the fisher folk, it affects the entire island of Tobago. Right? So I'm urging persons who is aware of what is taking place, please come and report these incidents or anybody already observe doing these sabotaging to these fish facilities, please report it.
And have you spoken to any of the fishing associations to see what's been going on as well?
Oh, yes. Up to yesterday, I had a conversation with one of the thriving fishing association in Tobago about Charleville fish facilities, about the sewer system up there. And we also spoke about Pigeon Point fish facility also.
And what's been a response?
Well, I told them that in a short order, right, the Pigeon Point fish facility will be pumped. Right, and we also had a discussion about what we found in the switch tanks, because them and all was not aware of what was being placed inside of the tanks. Right, so now that she's aware, the association is aware, they could at least pass it on to other fisher folk in the area.
All right, and now as we're getting ready to wrap this morning, what would you like to leave with the public of Tobago?
Well, I'd like to at least update the Charlottesville fisher folk that the ice machine, right? The procurement process has been completed, and I would like to say a service provider, I guess, right, or a contractor, right? They would be fixing the ice machine. So the remarkable progress that Castara is now having supplying ice to the fisher folk. Very soon, Charlottesville would have that by next week, right? And the Palo fish facility, the second phase, the procurement process has now ended, right? And in short order, once we get the mobilization, and that part is important, once we get the mobilization, because as I said, the division relies solely on the division of finance for money, yeah? Then we will begin the Palo fish facility, right? And we're here because we really mean the best. Eh? We don't have a lot of money. And the amount of scrape and scratch we had to do to do all of this, right? You wouldn't believe how hard it is, not only for us, but some of the officers in the division. So we are appealing to Tobagonians, because that's what we are, even though you separate yourselves into different crafts and trades, right? We are Tobagonians at the end of the day, and we need to support each other, okay?
All right. Well, thank you so much, Ms. Natisha Charles-Pantin and Mr. Taitt, for being on with us and for sharing what's been going on. And hopefully we could put an end to some of the misuse that's happening at our fishing facilities around the island. So, viewers, we got to go for a break, but we have more on GMT after this. It's a brand new